Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Welcome back to another fun episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy, and on this episode, I am sitting down with global entrepreneur, speaker, and mentor Leslie Hocker, and she's giving us a little bit of her backstory. She was a badass in oil, and now she's really gone into the kind of longevity health space, but we are really focusing on beauty from the inside out. She's giving a lot of great tips, and also a company that she is affiliated with and doing a lot of great things with, which has products that are really changing how you look and how you feel. And you got to look and feel great on the inside, which reflects out on the outside, and all these great things just to look better and feel better so you can live optimally, however you say that, and healthy. So this is all about looking good. So if you want to look good and live longer and feel freaking fantastic, then stick around for this episode because she is dropping some great advice. We'll be right back after this brief message. It's your host, Madison Malloy, and I have exciting news. My new product is now available on Amazon called Color Your Way to Abundance, a 21-day manifestation guide for wealth, health, and love. This unique coloring journal will help you manifest by coloring in the affirmations while you continue to repeat them. This will help activate these affirmations so they become a reality. Grab your copy today and relax, color, and start manifesting. Hey, we are back with our amazing guests on this episode of Next to Madison, where we are talking about how to be beautiful from the inside out and all things aging and how to look your best and feel your best, most importantly, at every age. And I am joined by global entrepreneur, speaker, and mentor, Leslie Hocker. How are you?
Hi, Madison. I'm terrific, and I'm excited to be here. And I love sharing tips for healthy longevity and feeling your best and looking your best.
Yeah, I think that's what we all want. And it's weird as you get older. I found now that, I've hit my 40s, how you start to look at aging a little bit differently and how you actually appreciate it. But before we get into the aging part and aging gracefully, I just want to hear a little bit about your backstory because you have a very interesting backstory.
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 5 children, and the way that I ended up as an athlete on a scholarship in college is because my parents put us in swimming to keep us out of trouble.
Smart, very smart.
If and then what that led to, when I was 16, I started studying. So when you're swimming 10 miles a day, you are tired all the time. And
Yeah.
you actually, in today's swimming and competition, they actually they don't work you out that much. That's like a lot. Like that's probably maybe a day, 8 miles or so. But
Okay.
because I was tired all the time, I started looking for what can I do to have more energy? Well, I mean, I'm 16, for
Yeah.
goodness sakes. I should have had a ton of energy, but that led me to looking to learning, to studying, and it just became then like an advocation for what can I do to support myself to feel my best and then look my best. And as a lifeguard and a swimmer, I had a lot of discoloration. I had, horrible skin. And so I also was very much embraced, let's see, 30 years ago. Yeah, 40 years ago, I embraced uh, clean beauty, which was very hard to find. So
Yeah.
when I graduated from university, I moved to the Houston area. My degree was specific for the petroleum industry. I left all my swimming and all of that interest behind and decided, I was going to climb to the top of the ladder. And I did that at a really young age because of timing, because timing in life, business, any
Yeah.
venture, it's all timing. And so I went far fast. And when I got to the executive level, I looked around and said to myself, this is fun now. Really, I said, this is fun and exciting now, but I'm not going to be doing this in my 50s. I am not going to go to work in the dark and come home in the dark and work weekends. And
Yeah.
so I guess I do have kind of an eclectic journey because what I've done is follow things I love. So as a swimmer, when I graduated, I was huge. Like I had a lot of muscle. If you've looked at swimmers,
Yeah.
so the Houston Ballet, this is while I'm still working in corporate, the Houston Ballet opened their studio for Pilates to the public, and I went, and it allowed me to lengthen out my muscles. And anyway, when they closed the studio, was about the same time to the public, was about the same time that I had gotten to the executive level and said, I need to start a business. I'm not going to kill myself for someone else
Yeah.
in my 50s. And so I said, without a whole lot of thought, I laugh now because I had a degree in business. So I thought, well, that meant I knew how to start a business, which of course it didn't, because in university, college, they teach you how to work for someone else. But so I
Yeah.
thought, I'm going to open up a Pilates studio. And people, it's interesting. People will, 99% of people always say, gosh, that's amazing. I'm like, no, it wasn't. No one had heard of Pilates in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah. And I really feel like we just kind of really heard about it like after yoga, which was like late 90s, 2000s was when
actually,
Pilates kind of came.
okay, so yeah, think I said I was the oldest of five. So my youngest sister calls me in 94 and she goes, oh my gosh, I just saw in Glamour magazine. That was when we still had magazines. I just saw in Glamour magazine that Pilates is the hottest exercise on the West Coast and I think on the East Coast. And I'm like, Texas.
Yeah. So
Like,
you,
that's like 10, like, I'm like, it isn't here yet. So in 2004, my youngest brother calls me, who's a scientist, and he says, with this wicked laugh that he has, he said, well, I forget, Entrepreneur magazine named Pilates the hottest exercise of the year in 2004. I'm like, oh, I was 20 years ahead of my time. So I just patted myself on the back for being a pioneer.
yeah, absolutely. And
So
okay, so that's wonderful. All right, let's get into the meat of the interview, which is beauty from the inside out. So as women, we it's it almost feels like we're not allowed to age, right? The man can get
yeah,
fat and
it's
gray
odd,
and it's
isn't it?
it's horrible is what it is. And it causes a lot of anxiety. And what happens is women start showing signs of aging in their 20s and they're still very young. And they don't realize that, wait, their minds aren't fully developed yet, but yet the wrinkles are starting to show due to lifestyle or stress or whatever it is. And yeah, I don't, I think it's the beauty industry. And I also think it's the men. The men have done it to us too.
I think that one of the things that really has helped me when you frame it that way is I look at it as I'm constantly evolving and growing. And I had an example of a mother, like when my mom was 92, we went to Prague together. She outwalked me.
Yeah. Okay. I love it.
It was crazy. And so I always had the example of I think the challenge we have in this day and age is we're on the computer, we're on our cell phones, and we don't consciously get up and move. So when youthful aging comes from the inside, and it has to do with moving, because there's a huge correlation to being active and moving and the way you age.
Absolutely. No, it is true. Like NAD is like a huge thing that has, people are talking about in supplements and they're selling them like hotcakes. But we've had people on this podcast who have said you can get those some NAD boost levels just by lifting hard for 45 minutes or an
Yes.
hour.
Yeah. Yes. My strategy now is not Pilates, but yoga. I evolved.
Yeah.
So I do weights and yoga. And yoga done properly, I'm not talking about just stretching, although I will do that as well, but I'm talking about your body weight, about moving. So, but yes, there is so much to be said. I feel really grateful that my parents' motive for putting us in swimming was not so we'd be kids that were in shape. It was so we would be kids that were occupied and we weren't running the streets and
Yeah.
getting in trouble. So it gave me a lifelong perspective on how good you feel when you move.
And it's crazy because you always feel better when you go to the gym or you exercise, but sometimes it's the hardest place to get. But
Yeah.
you always feel great afterwards. So it's like, why is it so I think it's just the changing, the being in the crowds, the being in the all that stuff. It just kind of, but that's why you can't take more than 2 days off. But yeah, movement is definitely key. But let's talk about how mindset plays into aging. Because there's some people out there that I've seen videos on. They're like, you can manifest looking younger. Do you think that?
No, I haven't seen those videos, but I do believe that how you see yourself is makes a huge difference. I've
Huge.
experienced that your perspective is everything.
Oh, it
Like,
is. Absolutely.
I'll give you a tip. So one of my mentors was Paul J. Meyer. He uh, passed away probably 15 years ago. He was a multi-billionaire. His companies, legacy company, his family continued them. He came from nothing. And he always taught us that attitude is everything. And I remember, I mean, I have to laugh now because when I met him, I remember I used to get up in the morning and groan, like ache, pain, whatever. And he taught us to, he started every meeting, he started everything he ever did. He uh, he did events, publicly traded companies. He was laughing. He made everyone stand up and say, I feel healthy, I feel happy, I feel terrific.
Oh, I love
And
that.
the way you talk to yourself. So the way you talk to yourself in the morning does set the tone for the whole day. And I actually had to
Yes.
practice that for it's so ingrained for us to focus on the negative. And I actually had to practice that. And I realized it took months, but it's now been years. And when I wake up in the morning, very rarely, even if I've worked out and I'm sore and like I'm on a kick right now that I'm doing something every day to move.
Good. Good for you. Absolutely.
And even now when I wake up in the morning, I it's like, what can I do today to win? I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. It it does make a difference. It really does make a huge difference. I don't know about thinking my way younger, but I uh I am blessed because I do work with clean skincare and wellness. When I renewed my passport, you'll laugh at this. When I renewed my passport a couple of years ago, they made me drive downtown Houston from the Woodlands, about a 40-minute drive, to prove I had sent in a current photo because no one looks the same after 10 years.
Oh,
At least
so
that's what they thought. Or
y-
even I thought I looked younger, but it just no one looks the same or younger after 10 years. So
well, that
I
was
had fun with
probably,
that one.
of course, and that's an interesting drive. You're like, I have to drive 45 minutes because I still look great. Okay, I can do that.
I thought my husband was joking when I said, he goes, our passports are ready. We had expedited them. And I said, okay, would you grab mine? He goes, You have to go. They won't give it to me. I'm like, what are you talking about? Ah, ha, ha. That's really funny, Ron. Because they want to see your face.
Oh my gosh, that is so great though. But that is great. Okay, so let's talk about the clean beauty that you've discovered that you've got into that's obviously working for you. So what are these products that people can be using? Because yes, skin is our biggest organ and we have all these pores and what goes on our skin affects us aging wise and health wise.
It really does. It's very interesting for me that people finally, in the last several years, are aware that what you put on your skin goes in your body.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but very interesting. So I work with a company that has patented a day and night cream with patented ingredient from Princeton University. And that was why my passport photo looked the same after 10 years. But we did just launch in May. It's been in research for probably 3, 4 years. A topical elixir that is a natural alternative to neurotoxins and fillers. And what it does, speaking of working out, it activates the muscles in the face.
What?
Literally, you have 40 muscles in your face. It activates the muscles in your face to lift and fill and plump themselves.
And so how long does it last until you wash it off, or does it actually
Oh no, it's
gradually start?
actually, yes. So in 2 hours, some people see results. As the age of my skin, I didn't. It took about 6 weeks.
Okay.
Oh, see. It took about 6 weeks to, I may have a photo here.
What is the
Uh,
product called? Because everybody's
it's,
going to listen to this and want to run out and get it.
oh, and you know what I have for everybody? I actually have a free, I can give you the link depending on when this airs. Uh, in September, I will have a free link for an intelligent skincare scan that will scan your face and tell you what you can do, what you need to do to help your skin look its best.
That's amazing. So what is this? What is the name of the company right now? Wow. What's the company called?
6 weeks. The company is the product is called NeoFiller,
NeoFiller, like NEO.
like yeah, like new filler, and it also builds the collagen in your skin by 1,223%.
Show that picture again. And for those of you listening on audio, you can go on YouTube to see this picture because I was pretty blown. Is this you?
So what had started to happen
Wow.
was the loss of volume under your eyes as you get
And
older.
and your jaws, and that's why everyone's running to those deep plane facelifts.
Yes, no, I've never done any lasers, never done. You can see this one on the side here. This
That's
is just
amazing how it just
sweet.
really kind of tightened the jowl area. Wow.
And I'm using it on my neck, and you can see the difference on my neck because you can't get injections there.
Yeah, like some people
So
started doing
it's
Botox, but Botox is so expensive. It's painful, and you got to run and do it every 3 months. And also, it is a toxin
yeah.
going into your
So
body, you
yeah.
know?
So if you are currently doing Botox and fillers, this would help the health of your skin and would increase the length of your results. In other words, it would last longer. But I've never done. I've My mother always said I'm going to grow old gracefully, and she just was such a great example of the habits. So beauty from the inside out is water,
Yeah.
sunlight. I know we've been told to stay out of the sun.
Okay,
Water.
so yeah, so go on to the list, and then we're going to go back to the sun.
Okay. Water, sunlight, moving. I laugh because the in fact the NeoFiller comes in a bottle that looks it's an elixir, but I laugh because the face, you've seen on YouTube some of the face yoga stuff, and my sister and I had
Yeah.
tried all that stuff, and it's like, really? I mean, who wants to?
Oh my
It's
gosh,
funny if you've
forget it.
ever
Like your
tried.
tongue, they're like, put your tongue all the way out to the side. And you're like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Like, I don't even want to
So
go
I'm
where my
like,
mind went, but you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just not sustainable. Okay, so you're saying movement, water, sunlight.
salt,
So,
salt.
okay, so here's another one, right? So I started doing like the electrolytes, right? So people don't
Yes.
realize how important this is. Like I'll do an electrolyte like packet in the morning and hydrate that first thing, and it
Hmm.
makes a huge difference is because your
Yes.
body hasn't had water for 8 hours.
Yes. And
But
what
even a
people
pinch of
don't,
salt in your water is just as effective.
well, yes. And here's why. When hear, I mean, so many people have heart issues or heart attacks in the morning because your blood thickens when you sleep and you need water when you wake up. So my habit is I had to, I mean, the bad habit was go in the kitchen and do coffee. And now
Yeah.
I go in the kitchen and do 20 to 24 ounces of water just to knock out that much early in the day with salt. And the reason, because you want to thin your blood back out because you lose the moisture when you sleep. In
Yeah.
fact, speaking of losing moisture, the night cream that I have actually seals the skin. It's got an ingredient from Brazil that's called TC3 Armor. It seals the moisture and it's like an overnight mask. But the salt, and not table salt, but like Celtic salt, maybe Himalaya salt,
Yeah.
mineral salt, because it lets, so a lot of people don't drink water because they makes them go to the bathroom, and it's, and because it's going from this to all the way out the other end and not going into their cells because it doesn't have the electrolytes. That's what people do. That's what the
Ye-
salt is for.
Okay, so how much salt are we talking?
Well, I do like you. I either do a Celtic salt or I've done Baja Gold.
Are you
I
doing
used
like a pinch or like a
a
ta
quarter of a
teaspoon?
teaspoon,
Quarter of a
quarter teaspoon.
teaspoon. Okay, and so you'll put that in and then just chug it back.
I'm actually putting it in and letting it go to the bottom and then drinking probably 16 ounces and then putting more water in and letting it dissolve naturally rather than chugging back a ton of salt all at one time. Does
Yeah, okay. And that was
that,
interesting
and
that you said because I'll go and I'll do like an 8 ounce glass of water with like an electrolyte tablet. Like here's a new one I have, which is the LMNT one
I
here.
used to use that. Yeah,
So, but
but that is
I
sodium
think I need to
chloride.
do more. Yeah.
No, I think
And it's
one of those is probably,
expensive.
yeah. I use one called salt that is not sodium chloride. It's SALLT. I don't even know if it has, I mean, I could send you the link. I don't even think they have, they might have a referral link. I'm not sure, but I did use LMNT, which is good brand.
Yeah.
Um, but you could do like a Baja Gold salt or a Celtic salt. When I travel, I would travel with a packet like that
Yeah.
because I don't want to carry my jar and or bag
Yeah.
of salt with me.
No, but it's so important. But the thing that caught me off guard was like I'm doing 8 to 9 ounces, but you're saying I should really be doing
Oh,
20 to
yes.
24
Yes.
before the coffee.
So, yes. So I'll give you another tip on
Okay.
coffee, sustainable energy. So this was a habit that it did take me a couple of months to adopt. And one of my brothers is a neuroscientist and a chemist. And so, and my husband's a doctor of pharmacology. And so we have this group text going with longevity hacks,
I
right?
love that.
Because we're all working to live. In fact, I used to call it, longevity. And one day he said to me, well, you really want healthy longevity. And I went, well, what is that? I mean, it's so dumb that I asked
Yeah.
that question. He goes, well, you want to live a long time, but you want to live a long time healthy. I went, oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes
Yeah. Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Exactly. You can't, if your body
So,
doesn't move, knock me out.
so yes, you should drink. I would drink 16 to 20 ounces first thing,
Okay.
because you are actually should drink half your body weight in water during the day
Yeah.
in ounces,
Yeah.
and then another 12 ounces for every 30 minutes you exercise. And so the key is to do that much first thing in the morning. It hydrates you, sets the tone, and then wait about an hour to do coffee. And here's why. Like, I know
It's going to be
that's what
hard
my
for
brother,
me.
okay, here's why you're going to get more out of your coffee.
Okay.
So when you wake up in the morning, even if you only got 2 hours of sleep or crappy sleep,
Yeah.
your cortisol is still high.
Mm.
It's spiked. So if you drink coffee on top of that, you're wasting your coffee. That's why you crash. Because
Oh.
so the key is if you do it, I mean, I had to do like 30 minutes and then 45 and then an hour. Now it's probably an hour to an hour and a half for me. But so your cortisol's up when you first wake up, and then you drink coffee right when about an hour in, it's starting to dip, and it just picks it goes. You don't crash. You don't
Okay.
have that morning, noon
Slump.
crash.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that makes sense. Okay, well, good to know.
So it is a habit that I highly, if you drink coffee,
Yes,
you'll be
and I've
so much
heard that.
happier after you adjust to that.
Good to know. And then the other thing you mentioned was sunlight, and there's been a lot of back and forth on this, how some of these over-the-counter sunscreens, especially in the drugstore, are actually causing more harm. And when they introduced sunscreen, the skin cancer rates went out of control. And I have friends who parents are doctors and they're like, nope, I just like use a hat, but I won't put sunscreen on. I never use sunscreen. But yet you see people who didn't wear sunscreen and were sun worshipers and they look like shit. So
Yes.
what's the balance here?
And the balance is the good question. So the time to get sun, if you can, is first thing in the morning.
What are we
That's when you
talking?
don't,
What hours?
um, anytime before like 9 a.m., like 9 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
I've done a lot of deep dive on this because I was a lifeguard and a swimmer. I'm actually not wearing foundation.
Wow.
So I
Unbelievable.
had it's well, it was
Check
funny.
out the YouTube if you're doing the audio. Go to our YouTube channel and make sure you like and subscribe, and you'll see her face. Okay, so
So
before 9 a.m.
it's funny you say this because I've had this conversation in my head with myself. It's like, okay, I get what they're saying. The key is to find a clean sunscreen. So I do the same company that I'm affiliated with. They have a clean sunscreen, only three active ingredients. It's reef friendly, but it's a blue light. So I always put it on my face before getting on the computer.
Oh
It blocks
shit.
the blue light
The
and the sun.
computer's aging you too.
Yes, it is
Son
worse
of
than
a
the sun.
what?
Yeah, the blue light ages you. It penetrates deeper. I know. No,
No wonder
somebody
it was so
must.
funny because somebody is like, why does Gen Z look older than the millennials?
That's why.
We didn't have the phones until we were like college, post-college, really.
And when I mean,
Whoa.
I think we came out with this. I normally have one sitting here, and I would show you because I usually keep one by the computer, but I
I
probably
need a blue
should
light
put it in
blocker.
my purse.
Shit.
Yes. Well, when I really realized how real that is was during COVID, because I I do the affiliate relationship marketing, and I
Yeah.
was spending some time on the computer. But when COVID happened, all of a sudden I was on the computer, it felt like 24/7. And my eyes, like within 3 days, my eyes were burning. And that's when I realized, oh, the blue light is I went and got blue light blocking glasses.
Yeah.
And that's, I was like, oh my God, if it's doing this to my eyes, it's doing this to my face. So it really
So,
is a real thing.
okay, so you found studies that actually prove
Yes.
this. Okay. And so what's the name of the product that people can use for UV
It's
and blue
called
light?
It's called Invisiblock. I'll
In
I'll send you the links. They can connect with me. I'll be happy to.
Okay. So perfect. If you guys are listening, it's InvisiBlock. You can go on check it on our website or just Google it. So InvisiBlock, and that covers UVA, UVB, and blue
Yeah,
light?
but it's only really for the face and the neck. But yes, it
Yes,
does.
okay. Because we're
Yeah.
sitting on our computers. We usually, a lot of us have ring lights because we don't have the proper lights in our homes or our offices when we're on the computer, we're recording. And, not as much today, but a lot of stuff still takes place over Zoom, like, we are now. And like when people aren't, if people are in New York, we'll back into a studio, but those lights are even brighter.
Yeah.
But just to
Yeah,
have
it's so
that
to
where it's
answer
like,
your
wow.
question about sunlight, I quit stressing about having sunscreen on me 24/7. I do put it on my face and I put it
Mhm.
on the back of my hands so that my hands don't give my age away, because that's the key. And I put my night cream on the back of my hands because
Smart.
your hands and your neck give
Yep.
your age away too.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
and I, you're so sweet. Oh, it's not open, and this is a gift to somebody. Okay, the Invisiblock sunscreen.
Okay,
My
I love
husband,
it.
my
So
husband's in the other room, and he heard me, and so he
he
was
goes, I
trying to
got it.
help.
I got it. Okay, so when you say before 9 a.m., is it how much sunlight should you be getting? You know,
20 minutes,
right. And make sure you don't have any sunscreen on because that can block the
right?
vitamin D that you
Well,
need.
it's yes. Your body does make vitamin D from the sun, but it's the rays in that time of the morning are different. And you
Yeah.
don't have the harmful rays, but you have rays that activate your circadian rhythm, your natural sleep wake cycle, and that's why you want to do it. So even if you're in New York or it's in wintertime,
Hmm.
I always try to uh, at least go outside for a short period of time because our windows are blocking the rays that activate our circadian rhythm to tell us to wake up. Like, we've
Yeah. Well, that's true. And they also say, like, yeah, for your eyes to make sure you don't have sunglasses on when you go out first
yes,
thing
that's
in the
right.
morning.
And it really does make a difference in the way you sleep. Because sleep is a beauty remedy in itself, right?
Yeah. But a lot of people have trouble sleeping these days. I've been guilty. I've been taking melatonin almost every night, and I need to get off of it. But I feel like with my schedule, it's
Now,
like some nights will be late, some nights will be early, and it's just hard to get that exact cycle.
melatonin is fine as long as you're not taking more than probably 3 grams. I don't know.
Milligrams.
Yes, milligram. What did I say? Grams?
Yeah, I was like milligram. Well, shit, I've been taking
Milligrams.
10 this week because it's been a little stressful.
Yeah, that's actually too much. I mean, with
Okay,
the
so maybe that's why
so
I'm groggy in the morning.
yes, yeah, it's too much. It's also not good for your bones. I mean, when the research first came out, it was everybody was
Interesting.
doing 10 milligrams, but really people can do as little as half a milligram to 3 milligrams and be good. So
Okay.
I usually do about one and a half.
Okay, interesting. So it kind of just takes that edge off. But yeah, once you
Yes,
get in that pattern, it's just it's a healthier, way to go.
and my system is sensitive probably. I remember the first time I took 10 milligrams of melatonin because I was like, oh, this is a cool thing. I think it was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I slept till 4 p.m. I could not get out of bed. I was like, okay, I am never doing this again. So when the
Yeah.
newer research came out about 6, 7 years ago, that's when I started again. Because I was like, okay, I could do the reason you would take melatonin is to help you get into a deeper sleep. It just
Right, and more
triggers that in your
quickly.
body, and then it helps me stay asleep.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I love this. Obviously, your perception is everything. I feel like I wanted to know more about the oil industry, but we can save that for another day because I was like, ah, woman in oil. I loved Landman. I had friends from high school. I love oil and gas. Trust me, I'm a big oil person.
Do you have
I
friends?
should
I
have been
am
in Texas.
curious. I am curious though, because my husband's watched it, and one of my brothers, who's an attorney in Oklahoma, he watched it and he was laughing. He goes, "It's a good show, but it isn't reality." He goes, "I'm pretty sure my sister never did most of that stuff." And we had a good laugh about it.
Yeah, well,
So
they
it's
got to
not,
make it good for TV. Yeah, because I had a couple friends that went off it's not pretty work. That's why they pay you a lot, and it's dangerous. So
well,
you can
so
come out
there
of high school
probably were.
making 200-300 grand a year, but your probability of dying is much
So
greater than
that's
being a
not what a
banker.
Yeah, so that's not what a landman actually does. The landman is the business arm of an oil and gas company that you negotiate. Well, I ran brokers that bought the leases, but then I did the negotiation between oil companies to get wells drilled, which was loads
Gotcha.
of fun. So
I'm
taking it from
sure.
the beginning to the end, but I never did some of the stuff you
Like
see on
on the
that show.
rigs. Yeah. Well, like
Oh,
working those
landmen aren't
rigs.
out on the rigs. Now, geologists, yes, one of my
Yeah.
sisters was a geologist, so the geologist would be.
Okay, so I guess they were called something else. But yeah, I had a cousin that did it, and
They
he's like, "I'm
kind of
going
did
back to
it.
Windows. This is crazy." Okay, so let's not get sidetracked. I'm going back on the stuff. All right, we've got mindset, obviously, perception. You've got water. First thing in the morning, 16 to 20 ounces of water with salt. Make sure you're getting sunlight before 9 a.m. Make sure you're moving, and the salt is key. Um, Anything else to age gracefully? Put the NeoFiller and the Invisiblock on your face.
I would say the key is because I was raised exercising clearly as an
Yeah.
athlete, but I've come to realize working to help some of my friends that that's not necessarily a lot of women aren't accustomed to that. Like people thought I was a
Mm,
weirdo when I was in my 20s and I was going to the gym.
yeah.
You know, women didn't do, I was working in the oil industry and I'd go to the gym at lunch and all the men thought, she's, they thought I was a lunatic, but it's okay because they respected me. But what I've come to recommend to women especially, but men as well, is just move. Find something where you can move that you will actually do. Like it's not realistic to say I'm going to go to the gym for an hour every day this week, but it is realistic. Like yesterday was a crazy busy day for me. I had intended to go to yoga for an hour, didn't happen, stuff piled up. And even though it was 90 feels like 110, according to my phone,
Yeah.
I put on a pair of shorts and a t-shirt in the middle of the day when I finally got the space. And I walked for about 25 minutes, just move. Normally I would
Yeah.
walk with weights or a weighted vest, but that's way too hot to do that. But I just got
Yeah.
out.
Well,
And
movement is
so,
so key. They say that sitting for 8 hours a day is basically as dangerous as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
yeah.
And
Okay,
I was
so
like, okay, I'd rather smoke and move. Not
new
really, but you know what I
research.
mean.
New research out this year shows that, so there's no excuse. It shows that if uh, 8 to 10 times a day, when it's like every hour, if you do 10 squats, like eight to
Oh,
10 times a day. So I make it a habit when I get up off the couch, when I get up from my desk, when I get up,
yeah.
period, is doing 10 squats. It's the equivalent of walking for 30 minutes.
Just the 10 squats?
Yeah, a day, every hour for 8 to 10 times.
Well, and
Trying to
they
remember. I
say,
think it's every hour for 8 hours, or it's 10 hours. I'm trying to remember which now because I just do it. Yes,
yeah,
it's
it's like
the
every time you go to the bathroom, but it's also, they say the stronger your quad muscles are, which are the front muscles of your legs, the longer
Mhm.
you live. Those are actually the longevity muscles.
Well, well, and here's a funny one, not to be crass, but I was talking with
I wrote a
a
book
friend of
called
mine.
Time to Lighten the Fuck Up, so nothing's off limits.
Okay, all right.
Let it
So,
rip, sister.
okay, okay. So here's so in life, when you're going for goals, when you're going for anything, sometimes it's better to move to focus on what would my future self, how will this affect my future self? So I was talking with my doctor and I was talking about my mom, who at the time she was 98 and living alone. And his comment to me was, well, yeah, if you could get up and down off the toilet by yourself, you could live alone. And it, at that time, I had always said, I hate squats, I hate lunges. And at that moment, I looked in the future and said, squats are my friend.
Yes. I love that you are seriously Texas. If you're like this is a little crash. That wasn't crash at all. Crass. No. That was like PG. That could have
Okay,
gone on the
okay.
Disney
Well, that'll
Channel.
be PG. So
I
if you
was
want to
expecting
live,
something else.
oh no, okay. Well, okay. Did did when I swim on the men's swim team, and you laugh because my mother, as an adult, she goes, I was in college. She goes, "Oh, wash your mouth out with soap again." She used to do that when we were kids because I was cussing like a sailor, according to her. And I said, well, I hang out with guys all the time. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yes, if you want to get up and down off, if you want to live alone, then you need to be able to get up and down off the toilet without pulling yourself up, pushing yourself up. You need to get up with just your legs.
Yeah. It is
And that
so
is such a great motivator because that's why it's perspective. I flipped how I looked at squats, and now I do them when I get up in the morning, when I get up from wherever I'm sitting. When I get up from here, I'll get up and I'll do 10. I'll probably do 15
yeah.
because I'm an overachiever. So,
Yeah, well, it's so key. It's like the more you move, the more you're strong. Like you do, but it's true. It's like even in the manifesting space, right? You have to look at like you have to become the person you want to be in the future. So if because so many people will be like chasing their whole life for just money and then their health falls apart. Like health is the
right.
new wealth. Like if you don't have
Yes.
that, and there's a whole correlation, the healthier and more fit you are, the more money you're going to make anyways. Because nobody's doing business with
Yes.
some fat, obese person
Hmm.
necessarily, because they're like, if they can't even take care of themselves, how can they take care of this type thing? And
Yes.
I'm not saying that to be rude or insensitive or anything like that. I'm saying it because we care about the health of these people. I'm not going to sit
Hmm.
here and see somebody who's morbidly obese and say, "Oh, that's beautiful." People have different body types and that's fine. But you've got to take care of yourself because that is not a healthy way to live. And you want that
And
person to have the best life. And that's the love and respect that we need to give to people too.
yes, it's the future self perspective.
Yeah.
It's not putting it off to another day, but how will my future self feel about me doing this now? And
They'll be
I will share
happy.
with you, pardon,
They'll be happy.
go be happy. I in my 40s, I did slack off. And when you talk about finding examples and mentors, I did slack off, and then my mom came to visit. So when my father had a stroke, my parents had never been in the gym. My dad golfed, he walked, he didn't use the golf cart, he did walk. But I went to help my mom since I worked for myself, took my laptop, my phone, and went to help my mom. And the physical therapist, all they do is so you can dress yourself and feed yourself. And gave my mom these exercises to do with my dad. And I'm like, my dad's never gonna do
Yeah.
this with my mom. So I got them a personal trainer who has also had a background in physical therapy. And he took both of them. And I have to say to you that my mother comes over to visit, and I we went to the gym together, and like she was like, no, she she must have been in her late 80s, leg pressing 345 pounds. I'm like, okay, I got to get back in the gym.
Yeah.
So and she wasn't bulky or any of that. No
No.
one would have known, but it enabled her literally to travel the world until her mid 90s.
Yeah, which is so so important. There was a gentleman on this podcast named Josh Black. If you guys haven't listened to the episode, go back and listen to it. And he's a longevity expert. And he opened my eyes, like you opened my eyes to like more salt in the morning and more water and coffee after an hour. He opened my eyes to a peptide that if he had to go to a deserted island and he could only take one thing with him, he would take this.
Was a Which
It was
peptide?
creatine. And
Oh, I do
so
creatine.
I got on
I never
creatine.
thought of it as a peptide.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got
So
on
women,
creatine. It has been a week. I already noticed the difference. I'm in the gym. I feel like my muscles just feel firmer. I can go harder. I'm lifting heavier. Like, not because I was got up there. It was just all of a sudden it was like, no, I can grab another like 2.5 pounds on each arm. Like, and then I'm gonna go to five. But you can go longer and push harder and like your muscles retain more and you just start to look better. Like I'm
and
getting like my guns. Like I got to get
I
my
think
muscles. Yeah, because those are good. I'm like, I want to look like I can beat your butt and you won't disrespect me. You know what I mean? But creatine was like life changing. And then I told one of my girlfriends about it, and she was like, well, I don't know. I'm more of like a runner and I don't want to get bulky. And I was like, well, you're not going to get bulky. But I said, you do you, but I'm going to sit over here and get ripped and jacked. And I'm going to love it.
it's not just about that. It's your brain. Creatine actually affects your brain. It
Oh, okay.
affects so many metabolic things. So I
Yeah,
do creatine in the morning, and then some new research came out this year. So you can tell I love learning.
I love it. I think it's beautiful.
So research came out this year that when you're traveling or you've had a bad night's sleep, you should probably double your creatine.
Okay, but I did
So
hear, so I take a 5 milligram scoop in the morning. I put
yes,
it in with
in
my
the morning.
greens powder and my Amra, the colostrum stuff. And then, but I did hear if you take 10, it might make you go potty. So you need to make sure you're near a bathroom.
I
There's
take
nothing wrong with
three
that.
at I take three at night before bed.
3 milligrams.
Hmm?
Okay, and do you feel like it
Three
helps you?
grams, 3 grams, because you're doing 5 grams of creatine,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're gonna get someone's gonna be listening to us going, those two women, they don't know the difference between milligrams and
And zip.
grams. And I'm like, it's okay. We'll
Yes,
get
we're
through
doing
the day.
grams. The
It's
scoop is a
five
lot
grams of
bigger.
creatine, and then I do 3 grams at night. My husband started doing five, but it's not,
But your muscles retain more because we lose so
yes.
much muscle mass after age 30.
And there's this myth out there that it makes you retain water weight. Well, it's only going to make you retain water weight if you're not drinking salt. It's like a whole cascade. So you need electrolytes in your water so your cells actually absorb the water. You're not just
Yeah.
taking in liquid and puffing up. So I I I hadn't really, if I had to take one thing on a deserted island, maybe. I don't know.
But before we wrap up, because I know we have to wrap up, but the thing about the salt, right? People would be like, make sure you limit your salt intake. Don't have too much salt. But I think
No,
they're talking
that
about
was,
the salt on the French fries.
oh,
Not the,
yeah. No, that's not what we're talking. Yes, because yes.
we're talking about the expensive salt. We're talking about the Beverly Hills salt,
Well,
the salt that's good
well,
for you.
I don't know. I guess expense is relative because I look at it like my health is the most important thing. I can make all the money in the world, but if
Yes.
I don't have my health, then
You have
what
nothing.
good does it matter? But the
Exactly.
salt thing was, we were go do some, I would just say to anyone listening, go do some research. You
Yeah.
do need sodium in your diet, and
Oh,
you don't
absolutely.
need sugar. Okay, aging
Mm.
from the end. So one last tip.
Yes.
Sugar ages you.
But
It
are we
ages your
talking
skin. We're talking sugar, not
fruit?
fruit,
Okay.
not all of that. I'm talking about added sugar. So that is one area that I've, over the last 5 years, become, because diabetes is like
Yeah.
people way too young, is I've started reading labels. And why is it necessary to have sugar in pasta sauce? Why? Now, you don't
And
have to answer.
there's
I'm just
loaded
saying.
of sugar and ketchup.
Yes. And so our grandmother's ketchup is not today's ketchup. It was tomato sauce with
Hmm.
some spices. So I would say the number one thing aging most people is excess intake of sugar. When you're
Okay.
talking about aging from youthful aging, is cut back on sugar. Yes, cut back on alcohol. I'm not saying do away with all of it, but the more I read, the more I went, I'll do it
Yeah.
on special occasion, celebration. I'm not going, yes, I'll eat a dessert on a special
Yeah.
occasion. I'm not about, I mean, you got to live, right?
Well, you're gonna die anyways
But
eventually,
it's
so you gotta
called,
enjoy it too.
yes, but you want healthy longevity. So
Yes.
it's really called mindful eating,
Yep.
just being aware.
Absolutely. And it makes you feel better when you eat better too. I mean, that dessert tastes so good or that candy tastes so good. Like right before this, I had to go get I'm getting my armpits laser for my laser hair removal. And they have all these like little candy things sitting and I had just come from the gym after work. And so I said, "Oh, well, I'm hungry." So I just started eating the Reese's and the little suckers. And I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Like,
I
ugh,
travel with, one of the things I really like is I do take perfect aminos, and
oh, I heard that's good.
it is. And I would say the other tip when we're talking about tips is women don't get enough protein. And you need enough protein to break down to get the amino acids.
And that's what the perfect amino does is it helps you get more protein, right? In a pill
Yes.
form.
Yes.
Okay,
So
somebody was telling me that.
they
Yeah.
have some food bars. So I usually travel with one of those in my purse.
Oh, that's
One of those when
very
I go to
smart.
the gym.
Yeah.
It's because I know myself, and if I don't get food in me, then I'll do what you're doing. I would go get candy or sugar.
Sometimes you just have a craving or it's sitting right in front of you. So,
Mhm.
okay, so let's repeat before because we've got to wrap up. So, NeoFiller is the product out of Princeton that you're affiliated with that is working that helps really fill in and also build those muscles in the face so you don't
Actually,
get so
yes.
saggy.
So actually, the NeoFiller is a new product. It's not from Princeton, and I know we're on audio, but night cream and a day cream from Princeton.
So
The
what is that?
Discovery,
So what is that called? What's the one that helps build the muscles in the face?
it's called the NeoFiller. And
That's the NeoFiller. Okay.
it has 3 separate formulas in it. And if people go to, I could give you the link that you could put in the show notes, but
But
if
also
people go to
tell us what it is.
yeah, if people go to lesliehocker.com and give me your information, just name, email, phone number if you choose, then I'll get a free IntelliScan to you, and then I will help get the information to you based on what you think that you need, including the sunscreen and the blue light.
I
And
love that. Well, I'm your first test victim, so sign me up, Leslie.
all
Gosh.
right.
But we learned a lot. But we learned our computers are aging us, our desserts are aging us. We can't have coffee first thing in the morning. But you know what? Behind all that, what the heck? How do you enjoy life? You're going to enjoy life more when your body is optimal and you're actually youthful aging from the inside out. I used to have a joke when I was
Yes.
doing stand up all the time where I just said, I spend so much money on these creams. I said, but I said, I look great on the outside, but who knows what the heck the inside looks like? I said, I feel like I'm kind of like a government building, right? Aesthetically pleasing on the outside, but once you get in, it's a disaster. The paint's chipping off the walls, the toilet's very flush, the tiles are chipped. That's what's going on here. And it was a joke, but that's kind of how I felt.
Mhm. Well, I really am on a mission to help
I love it.
women especially, but men too, for
Yeah.
youthful aging inside and outside.
Well,
It's
keep up.
definitely doable. Age is a
Yeah,
number.
it is.
Uh,
It's all about how you feel and your perception. So from being an oil tycoon to a health and wellness longevity expert, I am proud of you, Miss Leslie.
well, thank you, Madison. That's been so much fun getting to know you and sharing,
Yeah,
and
I'm glad you reached out
congratulations.
and I was like, absolutely, come on, let's do this. So, and thank you very much and congratulations to you and your amazing glowing youthfulness and obviously you're happy, which I think has a big reason of why you look so good too. I think happiness is a key element to
You're
that.
you're right. The latest research shows that happiness comes first and then success. In fact, I'll
Amen.
recommend your
Gratitude, baby.
yeah. There's a great website called livehappy.com,
Okay.
and it is all the latest. It's actually a friend of mine started it in 2013, and it's all the latest neuroscience research on success. And that shows that happiness comes first
I love
and
it.
then success.
I
So all
love
those
it.
years, all my friends told me, "You're crazy. I'll be happy when I do this and when I do that." I'm like,
No,
"Yeah,
you're
I don't."
happy now. Exactly. Because then they're just putting it off. So, all right, Leslie, thank you so much. You guys make sure you go to her website, lesliehoker.com, Hoker. You can,
HOC,
oh, sorry,
HOCK.
HOC. It's
Yeah,
right on my
I'll do it.
notes, but HOCKER.com.
And look me up on Instagram, on Facebook, or link whatever
Yeah.
your channel is.
Okay, perfect. So reach out to her, you guys, and you can find her incredible story. She's an entrepreneur, speaker, and a mentor, and a longevity expert as well. So if you have questions, and make sure you get that scan, and also start wearing sunscreen in front of the computer. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you'll look better doing it. So thank you, Leslie, and thank you to everybody who is listening or watching wherever you may be. I appreciate you. We could not do this without you. We will be back next week with another amazing guest, and we'll see you next time to find out who's next. Bye.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.